මම කාංචනා නදීෂානි. මම සාමාන්‍ය පෙළින් පස්සේ AAT පාඨමාලාව කළා. මම AAT පාඨමාලාවෙන් දිවයිනේ ප්‍රථම ස්ථානය ලබා ගත්තා. මගේ හීනය කළමනාකරන ගණකාධිකාරීවරයෙක් වීම. මම ඒ සඳහා CMA පාඨමාලාව තෝරගත්තා. නංගිල මල්ලටත් ආරාධනා කරනවා ඔයාලගේ වෘත්තීය ජීවිතේ ජය ගන්න CMA එක අත්වැල් බඳගන්න කියලා.
ලෝහ පිළිගත් කළමනාකරණ ගණකාධිකාරීවරයෙකු වීමට පාර්ලිමේන්තු පන්තින් සංස්ථාපනය කරන ලද ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ එකම කළමනාකරණ ගණකාධිකාරී ආයතනය CMA ශ්‍රී ලංකා.
අයිබෝවන් දුවදරුවන් සියලු දෙනාටම. So we are going to talk about the business studies subject. I think in the course outline or teacher's guide, topic number 12, I think, if my memory is correct, point out the necessity and importance of management in the achievement of goals and objectives of individuals and organizations. When you take this topic, there are important, three important terms are there actually. One is management, very important. That's what I am going to talk today about, the management and the management process. And this topic implies that the management is necessary for organizations on the one hand, as well as management is important for individuals. Therefore, if we practice the management principles and management concepts that I am going to talk about throughout this presentation and the lesson, if organization practice, the organization can achieve the success. If an individual practice that, even the individual can make their life successful. Therefore, these points can be applied in organizations as well as in personal life. Since the topic talks about organizations, first shall we get a definition about an organization. What is an organization? Organization means two or more people jointly or together making an attempt to achieve a common goal. Two or more people together trying to attain a common goal is the organization. Then your school, when you take, there are two or more people, of course, 100,000 people, teachers, students, together, everybody together, together trying to achieve some common goal. Even if your family, if you take, in family, father, mother, maybe you, your sister or brother like that, you all together trying to achieve the common goal. That togetherness is very, very important. Jointly we have to work. Togetherness is there. When you are going to make decisions, we have to think always that our decisions will have impact on the other people in the organization, in other members in the family also, right? This thinking is very important, right? So first, shall we come to the definition of management? Management is a process. Management is a process of planning, organizing, leading, or it's called directing, in other words, leading or directing, and controlling of the resources of an organization. How we have to use resources efficiently, and we have to achieve the objectives effectively. Organization efficiently and effectively to achieve the stated goals and objectives of an organization in a dynamic business environment. So, rather than giving this type of definition, I mean that a sentence or a paragraph like this, it is not that easy to keep in memory. So, what is the best way is giving the definition in the pictorial form, like a picture. This is actually user friendly. Anybody can understand, and it is easy to keep in mind these points Once you understand this, actually you should be able to make your own definition, right? So now you can see this is the management, right? What we are doing, there are two segments. One is the environment, then the organization is there, that is the management process. Management process is, we are going to practice that within the organization, right? Then output again we release to the environment. In the environment, we take resources. Resources means inputs, right? Resources are there in the environment. We have to use these resources efficiently. We have to use the resources efficiently. How we are going to use the resources efficiently? By putting them in the management process. Planning, organizing, leading or directing, and controlling. When it's come to this directing or leading, there are three concepts coming under that. That is motivation, leadership, motivation, and communication, right? Then this is management process. We put the resources in the management process to achieve the output. Output is the goals and the objectives. It can be a product or a service, right? We are going to produce a product or a service. How we have to do it? That effectively we have to do it. Now you should be able to create your own definition. Environment, nature of the environment is the dynamic. Dynamic means it is ever changing. It is ever changing, right? So management is a process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling of the resources in the environment to achieve the organizational objectives effectively by using the resources efficiently. In your definition, if these important terms are there, actually that is sufficient. So what is needed is, rather than by-hearting the definition, what is important is the understanding. Because management is not a theoretical subject. Management is a practical subject. All the concepts, all the principles that you are going to study, you can practice in an organization as well as in your personal life. Therefore, what is important according to my understanding is the important things rather than by-hearting. Right? If you can understand this definition, these points, and if you can make a sentence of your own words, including all these terms, I think that is what we have to do, rather than by-hearting a standard definition given by somebody else like this. Right? Okay. Now, I will explain these terms one by one. First, the resources. What are resources? Resources are anything which can be used to produce good and service is a resource. Or in other words, if I explain, resource is anything which can be used to create utility. It's a resource. Various classifications are there, like M5, money, time, minutes, methods, machines, men, people, human resource, and even material and information. So all sort of things are resources actually. Resources. Right. Next. Efficiency, very important. So management has two objectives. One, to use resources efficiently. Second, to achieve the organizational objectives effectively. Efficiency and effectiveness are the objective of management. If there is no efficiency, if there is no effectiveness, where their management is badly needed, right? So what is efficiency? Efficiency means to achieve preset objectives with the minimum level of resources. Now you 2 years time, you are hard working, you have your objective. Objective is to pass the GCE A level exam and to get the university entrance. That's your objective. If you can achieve that objective in the first attempt, you are efficient. And if you spend minimum money also, minimum amount of money also for that, you are efficient, right? So, we have to achieve our objectives by spending minimum level of resources, right? So, wastage should be zero, in other words, wastage should be zero. Minimum amount of resources if you use and achieve the objectives, we call efficient. So, this is very important concept, efficiency, especially when it's come to the public sector, this concept is very important. That means in the public sector, management is badly needed actually, because efficiently we have to use the resources. Right. So that it is called doing things right. Short definition of efficiency is the doing things right. Next, effectiveness. Doing the right thing at the right time, in the right way, completing activities so that organizational goals are achieved. Now we have objectives, goals. Now you have an objective. Let's suppose you have an objective. You want to pass the GCE A level examination and you want to get the entrance to a university and do management degree. If you can achieve your objective as prescribed, as you plan, if you can achieve as you plan that objective, we can say you are effective. Right? So it is called doing the right thing, effectiveness, doing the right way, efficiency, right? So we can put the efficiency and effectiveness show the way for success. How it is done? In the right way, that means efficiency. In the wrong way, inefficiency. What is done? Right thing, effectiveness. Wrong thing, ineffectiveness. Right? So in this vector you can see, efficiency, efficient and effective, both efficient and effective. That means you are achieving the success. You are efficient as well as effective, right? You are doing the right thing in the right way, right? Right thing with the minimum level of resources. And here, effective, you are doing the right thing, but you are not efficient. Effective, but you are not efficient, but no problem, you can survive only, right? But when it's come to here, right? Efficient but ineffective. You are highly efficient, but your objective is not effective. You are not doing the right thing actually. You are doing sort of a wrong thing actually, but very efficient you are. You are using the minimum resources, right? You will die slowly. You are doing slowly. You are doing something like that example, that you are doing some illegal activity, illegal business you are doing, but you are doing efficiently that. So short time you can do, very short period you can do, so die slowly. In this vector, neither efficient, no effectiveness, neither efficiency, no effectiveness, very fast you die. So as a management student, as a student who is studying the management, you must try to locate in this vector. Efficient, you have to be efficient, at the same time you have to be effective, right? Okay. Next, when you take organization, theoretically we call organization looks like a triangle. Management look like a triangle, and theoretically there are three levels of management. Three levels of management. Top management represent the ultimate top level of the organization. Top management, example like chairman, chief executive officer, like that. If we take a university, vice chancellor, like your school, principal, like that. Top level, middle level, and the lower level. Middle level means functional management organization, like production manager, finance manager, human resource manager, HR manager. So like that, they are functional level. If you take university, like dean of the faculties. If you take a school, like maybe sectional heads like that, maybe middle level. There are the lower level managers, they are supervisors and the foremen in the organization, business organization. If you take a school like even your class teacher, it's a lower level manager, right? So what are their tasks actually? Top level people, what they are going to do, top level people. They are the one who establish goals and objectives. The ultimate goal of the organization is the maybe vision and the mission, that mission is that determined by the top level people. All the strategies and the policies are determined by the ways and means of achieving the goals are called strategies. Those are determined by the top level. Deciding overall process of the organizing and monitoring activities. Monitoring means controlling the activities of the middle level people, also a task of the top level people. When it's come to second level, middle level is necessary when the organization become larger and larger, right? Middle level is very necessary actually, because top level, mostly top level, one or two people are there. Maybe one person is there in the top level. If the low level, if there are like 60-70 people are there, can that single person look after the activities taking place done by 60-70 people? Difficult. We have a capacity. That is why the middle level is necessary. So then this lower level is divided into certain groups, and the responsibility of guiding them is assigned to the middle level managers. That's why middle level is necessary. They are coordinating between top level and the middle level, actually top level and the lower level. So middle level is something like a bridge between top level and the lower level, right? Implementing the plans, strategies and policies developed by the top management. Providing top management with information required for making decisions. Monitoring and controlling the activities of the lower level managers. Those are the tasks or the role of the middle level managers. When it's come to lower level, implementing the plans and orders of the top and the middle level managers. Monitoring and controlling the activities of non-managerial employees are they are the role of the lower level manager. Actually, lower level managers are the one who are responsible for the doing part of the organization. That doing part is done by the employees. Their task, responsibilities for the or accountabilities for the with the lower level managers. So now there are certain managerial skills are there. Managerial skills. There are three managerial skills: conceptual skills, human relation skills, and technical skills. When it comes to these three skills, they are necessity that top level managers, when you take top level managers, they need more conceptual skills. When it comes to lower level managers, they need more actually this technical skills. When you take human relation skills, everybody needed in equal amount. Why? We all, whether top level, middle level or lower level, they are all working with the people. So what are conceptual skills? Conceptual skills. Ability to think, analytical skills, decision making skills, forecasting ability. So managers top level managers are responsible for the strategic planning. Plan 5 years ahead, plan 10 years ahead. Then we should be able to forecast the business environment, economic environment, political environment. Like that, we have to do future forecasting. That's not easy. Everybody cannot do like that. Ne? And we have to analyze the information also when we are going to make plans and decision making. Making goals, objectives and strategies is not that easy task. It's not that easy task. Ne? Those are called conceptual skills. Forecasting ability, decision making ability, analytical power, analytical knowledge. Right? Those are called conceptual skills. They have to use their brain so much. That's why top level managers are given a lot of facilities, infrastructural facilities, ne? Better office, easy environment, ne? Everything given, and better salaries, ne? And other benefits. Why? It's given. Sometimes vehicle with a driver, everything, because they should be in clear mind. They should have a very clear mindset. Why? They are the one going to make plans. Right? Conceptual skills. Then what are human skills? Human skills means ability to work with people, to get things done through the people. That's a sort of art actually. Ne? To get things done through the people. That's called human skills. So what are these skills? Listening skill. If you want to get things done through our subordinates, we should be listening to them. We should be ready to listen to them. Communication skills. Tolerate the mistakes done by the subordinates. We have to tolerate them. We have to cooperate with them actually. We have to cooperate with them. Ne? Those kind of things are called human skills. Actually, it's a sort of art actually, sort of art. Ne? We call PR, ne? We call it as PR, personal relationships. Ne? Sort of things. Ne? So those are called human skills. When it comes to human skills, everybody needs human skills. Top level people need human skills. Middle level people need human skills. Lower level people need human skills. Why? Everybody ultimately work with people. Finally, it's come to technical skills. Technical skills means the how to do tasks we must know. That, for example, when you take this machine, which machine, the person who operates the machine, who knows everything about this machine, how to operate that, even technical aspect, engineering aspect of this machine. These are called technical skills, right? So technical skills are mostly needed by the lower level managers because they are the one who are going to guide the employees. When the employee come and ask, so how to do this, like this, do this, something like that, if he doesn't know that, it's a problem. So that's why lower level people need mostly technical skills. Okay. Then what managers do? A person called Henry Mintzberg has pointed out that a manager going to perform three major functions of three major roles. We call that three major roles and they are again subdivided into 10. Right? Interpersonal roles, informational roles and decisional roles. When it comes to interpersonal roles, under interpersonal roles, there are three sub-roles are there. One is the figurehead. Managers act as symbolic figureheads, symbolic leaders in certain occasions, performing social and legal obligations sometimes. Sometimes we attend funerals of the some organization members' funeral by representing the organization. Sometimes middle-level managers represent the organization. By represent the organization, we certain occasions, certain events we attend by represent the organization, where the figurehead role is performed. Leader, leader's role. Leader influence and guide people towards the accomplishment of the goal. Influence. Later we'll talk about that. Then the liaison who maintain the self-developed network of outside contacts with parties who provide favors and information. Being managers, we cannot work in the social vacuum. We have to deal with the society. Why we have to deal with the society? In the definition I show that. We take resources from the environment and we release the output again to the environment. Therefore, managers should maintain the relationship with the environment, the parties in the environment. So, these parties are called the stakeholders. So, we have to maintain the relationship, proper relationship with the outside stakeholders. That is called liaison's role. Next, there are three informational roles also. Monitor. Managers must constantly monitoring and scanning the environment, collecting and studying information regarding the organization and the outside environment, both inside the environment, both the internal environment and the external environment. We have to constantly monitor how things happen in the economic environment, how things happen in the political environment, how things going to happen in the new things happen in the legal environment, cultural environment, international environment. So like that, managers should be on alert all the time. How things happen, because we are dealing with the environment. We are taking resources from the environment. We are releasing our output to the environment. Therefore, the environmental changes happen in the environment make a big impact to our organization. Therefore, if we are not sensitive on how things go on and how the environment is changing, if you do not cope up with these changes, definitely that organization will die fast, very fast. Therefore, it is the duty of a manager to play the monitor's role, and it is very important actually, very important. Then such information gathered by scanning the environment should be disseminated for decision making purpose. It is called disseminator's role. Managers must transmit information received from outsiders or from subordinates to members of the organization. Then the spokesperson, very famous spokesperson. There are so many spokespersons. We say police spokesperson, military army spokesperson, government spokesperson. There are one or two ministers, spokesperson. They are the one who release official information on behalf of the organization, right? Official information. They are called transmit information to outsiders on organization, plans, policies, and action results. They are called, they are releasing the official statements and official information to outside parties are called spokesperson. There are four decisional roles. Entrepreneur is the one who introduces new things to the organization, make changes to the organization. When it's come to, when the environment is changing, of course we have to cope up with the changes, those changes. Cope up with the changes means internally we have to make changes, right? So that is the role of the entrepreneur. Searches organization and its environment for opportunities and initiate improvement projects to bring about change. Disturbance handler, responsible for collective action when an organization faces important or unexpected disturbances. Disturbance handler. Resource allocator, responsible for allocation of the organization resources of all kinds. In effect, the making or approval of all significant organization decisions. Resource allocator. Negotiator, responsible for representing the organization at major negotiations. Sometimes like that. For example, most of the organizations is very common. We can see labor strike, especially in the public sector. Actually, labor strike are there. They are labor strike. They are asking more salaries sometimes. More salaries most of the cases. and be in the management, so we have to negotiate, defend our position, and negotiate with those peoples. So like that, negotiation skills. Those are the 10 roles of the Mintzberg. Then in the management process, I am explaining the definition yet, still definition. So management process. First, planning. What is a plan? A process of establishing goals and a suitable course of action for achieving those goals. Action means activities, mechanism and resources. Just having a goal does not make plan. We call building palace in the air does not make plan. Building palace in the air means what? Sometimes we also are there when we are highly emotional, sometimes highly very happy mode when we have, we say we do that thing, this thing, that thing, this thing, like that. We give certain promises like that. Those are just objectives, just subjectives. Having just objectives does not make a comprehensive plan. What we are going to achieve, where we want to be, what we are going to achieve, where we want to be is the goal or the objective. But important thing is that we must have a proper mechanism how to reach there, how to do it. That's why activities, what sort of activities we have to do, what is the mechanism, how much resources we need, how do we find these resources, and who are going to do this task, who is responsible, and ultimately what we are going to achieve is called KPIs, key performance indicators, like that. If we have answers for those questions, so what we are going to do, where we are going to do, by whom going to do, how we are going to do, ultimately what we are going to achieve, right? So for this kind of questions, if there are answers, then it's make a plan. Otherwise, just having an objective, just having a goal and objective does not make a plan, right? So in a well-defined, in the planning process, we should be able to see these steps. First, in the planning process, establishing aims or establishing goals, right? This aims means I quoted this from the teacher's guide actually. Here the aims means it should be the mission, I think. Mission is the ultimate objective of the organization. If somebody asks from the organization why you are in the business, the organization's answer is the mission. The reasons for the organization's existence, is the mission. First, we have to determine the mission and the goals. Mission, then divide it into sub long-term targets, they are called goals. And these objectives also, they are, that even a 1,000-mile journey, start with the one step. First we have to take the step, one step. So like that. Mission is the very long-term one, maybe 30 years, 40 years, maybe the whole lifetime we are going to achieve the mission. All of a sudden we can't achieve the mission. Therefore, mission is divided into different parameters. And they are called goals, maybe 3-year, 5-year goals. Those goals also further divided into sub-achievable targets. They are called objectives. For example, getting the university entrance or passing the GCE A level may be your goal. Definitely everybody's goal. But all of a sudden, at once you can't achieve that goal. So what you have to do? You have to study properly 3 subjects. When it's come to that 3 subjects also, when you say business study subject, you are going to study 2 years. 2 years. So first what you have to do? You have to study grade 12 syllabus. That grade 12 syllabus also further divided. These are the objectives. First 6 months what you are going to achieve. First 6 months you are going to study number of topics, maybe 3-4 topics. And at the end of the 6 months, there is a term test conducted by the school. So you have to participate for that term test, face for the term test, and score 80 marks like that. That's the objective. Score 80 marks at the grade 12 first term test for the business study subject. Once you successfully achieve that, grade 12, second last term test, again achieve 80 marks. Then 13 first term test studies, achieve 80 marks. 13 last term test, achieve 80 marks. If you do like this, automatically you can get a pass. A pass is your goal. Getting a pass for your business study subject is the goal. How do you achieve that goal? 4 objectives, divide that into 4 objectives. So day to day you are working trying to achieve the objectives, right? If you are achieving the objective, we make action plans to achieve objectives actually. We are working on the objectives actually. If you successfully achieve the objective, automatically you can achieve the goal. Once you achieve the goals, all the goals, automatically you can achieve the mission. Achieve or reach toward the mission. That is how it is aligned. Mission, goals, objectives. Mission, ultimate one, middle level goals. Then day to day we are working to achieve the objectives, right? Objectives. These are links actually. Objectives are linked to the goals. Goals are linked to the mission. So this is very important. SWOT analysis. Environmental analysis. SWOT. Strength, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. Strength and the weaknesses in the internal environment. Opportunities, threats are there in the external environment. We have to analyze them. We have to analyze them and identify where we are now. Then you are going to make a plan. That is important. First we have to understand where we are now. Then we have to decide where we want to be. That is the goal or objective. Where we are now, where we want to be. In order to decide that, we have to do a SWOT analysis. That is called gap analysis actually. Identification analysis of the performance gaps. That gap is there. Where we are now, where we want to be. There is a gap. Where we are now and where we want to be. There is a gap. In order to fill this gap, what we are going to do? What we are going to do? That is the strategy. What we are going to do in order to fill this gap. Where we are now and where we want to be. There is a gap. In order to fill that gap, we have to determine ways and means of what we are going to do. That's called a strategy. That's called a strategy. Making strategic decisions and preparing a plan, action plan, right? And finally, we have to implement it. To implement, we have to create organization structure, implement it, and after implementation, we have to do the control also. Control means from time to time, we have to turn back and see how things going to happen, how things happen, right? So this is called planning process actually. This is called planning process. Okay. A well prepared plan should consist of following facts. If a well prepared plan, it should have these facts. You can see like this. Vision is the dream, and mission, goals, policies which support to give certain guidelines for making decisions. Policies, strategies means ways and means of achieving objectives. Procedure of how to do tasks, how to do the task. What are the steps that we have to follow when we are going to do the task is called procedure. Rules are called very rigid decision guidelines are called rules. Now in your school also there are rules. So because 7:30 you have to come to the school. When you are coming to the school, you have to wear the uniform. So like that, properly cut the hair like that. There are certain rules and regulations, and we have to adhere to these rules. It's a must. It's a must. If you violate these rules, if you do not adhere to these rules, there are punishments also. Punishments are there. To have a better conduct, to have disciplines actually. Without discipline, we cannot do anything. For rules and the regulations are very important. And certain programs are there. Programs means some collection of activities aiming at a particular target is called program. Now this This is also a part of the program, that Guru Gedara, that teaching maybe A level or advanced level business study module teaching program. It has number of activities. Now what I am doing is the small part of the activities. Collection of everybody's teaching recordings lecture make the comprehensive program. Like that. So once he make a program plan, next important task is to implement this plan. When you are going to implement the plan, we have to create an organization structure. There's a Sinhala saying. You may have heard about that. It's called Andi Haddenage Kandahaliya. Andi Haddena. I don't know who is Andi. Andi Haddena. Some people, 7 people. What is organization? 2 or more people together trying to achieve a common goal. 7 is 2 or more. 7 people wanted to make a porridge. That's the organization. Objective is to make a porridge. 2 or more people. Right? 7 people. Ultimately they failed. Rather than porridge, they had only water. You know the story, right? You know the story. Why did they fail? Where was the Achilles heel? Why they failed? Because they failed, they didn't have a structure. Everybody did the same thing. What they had to do, they had to appoint somebody as the leader, thereafter divide the total work of making the porridge into 6 or 7 different tasks and assign to each members. That part lacking. So that creating that structure, right, is called organizing, the process of engaging 2 or more people in working together in a structured way to achieve a specific goal or set of objectives. Organizing. You can see type of organizational charts. This is called organizational structure. Commonly famous one is the vertical structure. You can see here. Actually, when we are preparing the organizational structure, to represent the positions, we use rectangles, top level rectangles here. There should be rectangles. The rectangles represent the positions, right? And these lines show the formal flow of information, formal relationship. From where the authorities flow, top level having the most ultimate authority, and delegation of the authority is show these lines, and also chain of command is show the line, show the chain of the command. And when you take collection of these positions, when you take all the managerial levels together, when you organize in that chronological order, that totality is called the hierarchy. The top level, middle level, lower level, when you take as a whole, we call this structure is called the organizational hierarchy. Right? So this is the most famous form actually, vertical structure. And in addition, we can prepare in this line form also. We can prepare it line form like this. They are top management, middle level, lower level. Or if we want, we can have in the horizontal way also. We can prepare. But most famous is the vertical structure. Is the most famous vertical structure. So now we can see principles of principles are depicted through an organizational structure. These principles shows the organizational structure, right? These principles, okay. This is the structure. I show you rectangles represent the position, CEO, marketing, sales, so like that. A functional structure. First, the division of labor. Most important thing is that when you are going to make an organization structure, when you are going to create an organization structure, first task that we have to do is to divide the total workload into small piece of jobs and assign to right person. That is called division of labor actually. This principle was very first introduced by the Adam Smith. Adam Smith, based on the print industry, he wrote a book that what is Wealth of Nations, 1776, I think, Wealth of Nations. Based on that, he introduced, based on pin industry, introduced this concept, total task of producing a pin. He divided into 10 different jobs and assigned to 10 people, and like that way he proved that if we use the different division of work concept, we can increase the productivity by number of times actually, right. That's how later this concept came to the management also, right. Division of work, divide the total workload and assign to different people, those who are qualified in that area, the right person, right person. That is called division of work. And the unity of command, very important principle, unity of command. One subordinate should get command from one superior. One subordinate, one superior concept is called unity of command. Then the chain of command. The CEO give commands to marketing manager, from the marketing manager to sales representative, like that, lower level manager, from there to employees. So commanding like this and reporting also should be in the same proper channel. So it looks like a chain. So it is called chain of command. As I explained hierarchy, this total it is called the hierarchy. Top level, middle level, lower level managers, when you take together in this proper order, that total structure is called the hierarchy actually. Total structure is called the hierarchy. And this is also very important, span of control. That means how many subordinates a leader, a superior, how many subordinate a superior can effectively guide and control and handle is called his span of control. Now is the CEO span of control is 3. Marketing manager span of control is 3. Span of control. That is very important actually, span of control. Then the centralization or decentralization. Centralization or decentralization. If most of the power, most of the authority is with the top management, most of the decision making authority is with the top management, we call that structure is relatively centralized structure. If most of the powers of making decisions are delegated through the hierarchy, downward the hierarchy, most of the powers are delegated downward the hierarchy. So we call that structure is a decentralized structure. So centralization or the decentralization is a question of how far the formal authority is delegated down the hierarchy. How far? That's question. And the rules and procedures, and finally coordination. The marketing, sales, services and financial, all these functions together will support to achieve the organization goals and the mission. Therefore, everybody's effort should be assembled and coordinated properly to and directed properly towards the ultimate goals. That task is called coordination. Therefore, organizational structure represent all these aspects. Right. Next, the leadership. Next function is the leadership. The ability to influence. Leader, what is the leader's job? Ability to influence the behavior of an individual or a group with the purpose to achieve goals of a particular organization is meant by the leadership. The leader's job is to influence the behavior of the subordinate. What leader is doing is that influencing. Influence. Okay, right meaning you will get if you use the singular word. That is balapam kirima. Influence means. Influence means in order to influence somebody else, to influence the somebody else, I should be, if I am the one who is going to influence, I should be more powerful than the subordinate. I should be more powerful than the subordinate. Therefore, leaders should have more power. Leaders should have more power than the subordinates. Otherwise, that leader will become a puppet. That leader's commands will not be accepted by the subordinates if the leader is not a powerful person. Then there are different sources of getting the power, right? Different sources. Legal power we call authority. Official power is called authority. Official power. Expertise knowledge will become a power. Reward power, ability to reward the people, ability to punish the people, coercive power, referent power. Like that, there are different sources of power, right? You better study them. Then there are a number of leadership styles also. Autocratic leader, democratic leader, and laissez-faire leadership style. Autocratic leader, the leader that performs according to his own decision without considering the ideas of subordinates is called autocratic leader. He is going to make his decision. He never talks with he never consults with the other people. He never talks with the other people. Autocratic leader. The autocratic leader retains the authority centralized. He gets the work done through subordinates by giving orders. You must do like this, and there are punishments if not adhere to them. To avoid penalty, subordinates follow those commands. The totally opposite style is the democratic leader. Democratic leader follow always the participative approach of decision making. Participate approach with decision making. When he is going to make decisions, he talks with his subordinates also. Talks with the subordinates and jointly make the decision. It's called participative approach. The leader that performs considering the ideas of subordinates is the democratic leader. The democratic leader decentralizes the authority. He gets the participation of subordinates in taking decisions. He makes arrangements to obtain the participation of employees at determining the goals and at deciding the method of performing tasks. Then next is the laissez-faire leader. The leader that gives the highest liberty to subordinates. Freedom is given in performing tasks is the laissez-faire leadership. These kind of leaders influence much less their group. Things to be decided and to be done take place without the influence of the leader. This leadership style is important when there are highly experienced and highly expertise subordinates. The subordinates are well qualified and they are expertise people as well as they are ethical people. Very important when it comes to Sri Lankan context, right? Because these definitions are written by the Western world. In the Western world, society is highly ethical. Sometimes when it comes to third world countries, people are not that ethical. Therefore, I would like to add that term also, right? Not only experience, not only highly expertise, but they should be ethical. If people ethical, experience, qualified, and ethical. If the subordinates are experienced, qualified, and ethical, of course, we can practice this leadership style. Then the motivation. Motivation means the process of making people perform willingly. Making people perform willingly is called motivation. We use different method to motivate people. There are financial method, non-financial motivators are there, financial motivators are there. Increasing salaries, giving better salaries, provision of share ownership, provision of bonuses, provision of loan facilities, provision of products and substitute at concessionary rates, institutions, provision of product of the institution at concessionary prices. These are financial. And there are non-financial stimulating or motivating methods also. Training and development, training and promoting employees, provision of job security, better surrounding and better facilities, providing health facilities, organizing fun tours, provision of awards So like that, ne? So next, the communication. This is very important. The process by which the person or a group of the organization is called sender transmit some type of information, or it is called message to the another person is called the receiver. That process is called the communication. So when it's come to last function of the management is the controlling. The management function that involves monitoring actual performance, comparing actuals to standards, and taking corrective actions. If you put in a graph like the picture like this, establish standards, then we have to measure the performance, then compare the performance against the standards. Does the performance match the standards? If it is yes, of course everything under control. If it is not, we have to take corrective actions and re-evaluate standards. Re-evaluate standards means we will come again to here. That means we have to establish fresh standards. That is the controlling, and with that actually management process is completed. And thank you very much for listening to me and watching this video. Thank you.